Hello everybody, Iain Robson here for an episode of Smithfield Farm. Alright, so today we are going to be raking all of this tedded hay. We're going to be using our Agromet once again, so let's just lower the stars there, or the wheels, and let's get her done. We could probably go a bit faster than this. There we go. Perfect. So, I don't know how long this is going to take. This is the one function of this particular item that I don't like as much. It works well, but it's just a bit stranger to line it up. Like if you have the two wheels, it's not as bad. But I always find this is a bit more difficult. I find it difficult, at least. I suppose I could use a GPS mod or something, but don't really think it's necessary. So what we're going to do is probably going to do a headland first, I guess. Just so I have like an outline of where I want to drive around, I guess. I suppose I could just follow the outline, but I think that's going to be just a little bit too far away. I think most of the hay is going to be tossed out there. I don't know. It's going to be difficult to see. We'll see what happens, but from what it looks like, it should be okay. But I don't want to throw it too far over, like into the trees, for example, because that would just be bad news bears. Anyhow. It's funny, I've been having this debate with myself the last couple of days. I've been debating about what to do in terms of 2015 and 2013 because there'll be a lull at the start of 2015 because there won't be that many mods ready for it, I don't think. It's possible there will be mods ready, but I don't know for sure. But it will be interesting to see how long it takes for people to get ready with the mods. Will it be a short while? Will it be a long while? I have no idea. Alright, so let's do this now. If I do it there, is that going to be... That's not too bad, I guess. I guess that would be the best way to do it. There we go. I think, at least. I don't know, it's getting awfully close. Yeah, this, like I said, this is the one function of this particular rake, or this particular implement that I'm not super jazzed about. Just because of the way it works. If it were like a V-rake, I think I would like that a bit more, but it's obviously not, so... I suppose I could use the V-rake. Yeah, let's just finish it with this. Maybe next time. The V-rake would work really well. The Vermeer rake I'm referring to, of course. For those people have no idea. It actually has it's a pretty good little rake. Although I find it doesn't pick up all the hay for whatever reason. That's the problem I ran into when I was playing Missouri, or the Missouri map with it. I ran into the problem where it wouldn't pick up all of the hay, which was a bit strange actually. You think it would, I don't know why that would happen, but I guess I was going A, too fast, B, too slow, C, the mod's not as good as you think it is. I don't know, it's kind of hard to determine what the actual reason is. Because in real life, of course, there would be some scenarios where you do have to maintain a certain speed. Like I know when I was tedding a long time ago now, that if I didn't maintain a certain speed, I wouldn't be able to ted nearly as well. So it's one of those things where you really had to watch what you were doing, I guess. So I don't know, if I had to guess, this probably doesn't put it into very nice rows. I wonder what this would, like, in real life, I mean, of course. Like, here it looks alright. But, like, it seems a bit wide still. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to this type of stuff, but it could be perfectly fine. But if you compare what you get out of this versus what you get out of, let's say, some of the Crone Swadro from Meta Modding, like, that's a pretty big difference, I think, at least. But of course, that's like, I guess the argument would be that's a new implement versus an old implement, I suppose. That would probably be the argument, I guess. I don't know. It's, I'm sure I could go back and forth and kind of decide. I'm like, well, in this scenario, this would probably work better. In that scenario, I don't know. Could work either way. Let's just say that. Just gonna grab a drink of lemonade. Ooh, I do love lemonade. It's funny, I've been watching this guy called Biffa 2001 a lot. Not a lot, but recently, let's say. And one of the funny things that he does is he always has tea, and he always drinks tea, like it's his job sort of idea. And it's pretty funny because what happens is he always has, sometimes when he does live streams, he'll actually go to people's houses in Minecraft, let's say. Because that's one of the big games he plays. He doesn't play Farm Sim or anything like that. He plays Minecraft. And what he does is he'll send them like tea and stuff like that. And leave them little cups of tea. I think it's kind of funny. I think I would have sent them a barrel of tea, mind you. Maybe not. I think that would have been, I would have found that a little more comical. But he's a bit more refined than I am, I guess, so. That's the reason why he wouldn't send them a barrel. He would send them a nice cup of tea. Although it's funny because some people are really, really into tea and some people are like, no thanks, I'll have coffee. I don't mind. I've grown to like tea a bit more these days, but I still prefer coffee by a long shot. But that's just me. I grew up in North America, so that's probably the reason why. Most people who are from like England, I've discovered, like England or UK or Ireland, I guess, prefer tea over coffee, although I know they drink coffee there, so I don't know. Alright, nice. It's progressing nicely. Not as fast as I would like it to be, but it's an old school style rake, so I really wasn't really expecting Mach 10 or anything like that. Although I'm pretty sure I can go as fast as I can with this particular tractor and have no problems. I'm pretty sure, at least. What I think I'm going to do now is instead of going around the circles now, it's going to go up and down the fields. Let's choose a spot. Let's say right here. Yeah, that's as good as any. Just so I can, you know, keep it a little straight. So I don't have to make really tight turns. Because, of course, that's probably one of the more annoying aspects of this game. I guess it would be in real life, too, I suppose. I'm not sure, but I guess in this case, because of this particular style of rake, you probably would have to do the headlands after as opposed to before. And I'll have to be careful now that I think about it. I really should have done it that way, but... Because I can't just lift it. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Oh, well. Because I can't just lift the, can't just lift the rake and go from there because I have already well, that was supposed to be a straight line. It's kind of straight still because it doesn't work that way. Yeah, so I guess this is a scenario where you definitely should have done, or I definitely should have done the headland first. Whoops, or after, I should say. Let's see how this is going to work. If I go like this, swing in here like this, I guess that's what would happen probably, something like that. Where, I don't know. And it's really strange. Like with some of the classic equipment like this, I really have. I'm at a loss. I'm like, I don't know how they would go about doing it, where it's like done well and done effectively. Like I'm pretty sure I'm botching this job a little bit, which I think is one of the reasons why I don't use this type very often, even though I like it a lot. But c'est la vie. All right. It's funny. I remember last time I was heading, I had to be careful as to where I was driving, or where my implement was. Sorry, not where I was driving, because I kept paying attention to it, like where I was in front of me, as opposed to where my implement was behind me. So I was doing a poor job of keeping. Well, I was bailing at the time, and I was doing a really terrible job at bailing properly. I blame it on the tractor that I was using, and of course, most people would, but definitely was not the tractor. It's definitely just my inexperience in this scenario, or in that scenario at least. Alright, let's do this. Nice. I'm getting better at that, I think. Not doing it as badly. Could be done better, I suppose, but Could be done worse as well, right? Oh man, it's funny. A lot of the cartoons. Why was I gonna say cartoons? Oh my goodness. A lot of the comments I've gotten in the last little while have been like lots of you should try this, you should do this sort of idea, and some of the things I definitely have done, some of the things I definitely haven't, just because it's not something I would do, just because we all have our own style, and sometimes my style is not the same as your style, which is fine. Everyone's got their own style. Like, I think a while ago I was asked to try the Big Bud out, which is an enormous tractor that I think was the most powerful tractor created, but not necessarily the most powerful tractor in production. It's a cool looking tractor, but it's just not something I would go out of my way to use. Or the mod itself is not something I go out of my way to use, because I don't know, I guess just never really jumped out at me, because it just seemed like a little ridiculous, I guess is the word that comes to mind. Or it's not ridiculous, excessive, I guess would be the word that makes more sense in this scenario. Like, the model's alright. It's not the best model, not the worst model. I know TCGG Rob has done a couple spotlights on it, and he said he thinks the most recent model that I saw him do a spotlight on he liked, in comparison to the old ones at least. So that only leads me to believe that it's only marginally better than what it was before. Let's do this here. It's only marginally better than what it was, which doesn't really leave a lot of hope. Because it's like, well, if it's only marginally better, you'd hope for something not just marginally better, but significantly better with new versions, but it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes when you get a version fix of something, it's just like, you know, fixing one tiny little thing and that's it, and then it's a new release of the same mod, basically. Doesn't happen often, but, you know, once in a while it will. Alright, let's get this. Nice. Yeah, I almost feel like I should have used the Vermeer rake for this. Probably would have worked out a bit better. Only because then I could just drive straight instead of keep looking behind me, but whatever. Alright. Almost done. It's funny, when you use these small pieces of equipment, you always assume things are going to take such a long time. And sometimes they do, of course. But it's just a question of what activity are you doing? How big is the field? That was pretty terrible. There we go. How big is the field? Like those types of things. Like it all comes down to a bunch of factors, and sometimes the factors are little things like how fast are you driving? Like what am I driving? I don't even know. 16 kilometers. Let's see how. I'm pretty sure I can do. Oh no, maybe you can't. I'm kind of surprised. I thought you could go. Apparently, you can't drive backwards very easily. I thought you could go as fast as possible, but I guess you can't. There you go. There is a speed limit on this thing. I totally thought there wasn't. And I was totally like, yeah, I can just go like 30 kilometers an hour. Although I'm not sure this particular tractor goes that fast even, but I thought you could easily do that. I was wrong. But I think last time I used this particular rake, I think it was on the old family farm, I want to say it was. And I think I used it right at the end of the series. I think that's what it was. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was at the end of the series. I did like, I don't know, only recently have I actually got into this whole making hay side of things. I have no idea why, but it just seems like a more recent thing that I've started to enjoy a bit more is the haymaking side of things. Like I said, I'm not really sure why, but it's just something that has only recently come about. I know there's lots of people out there who just, that's like the most fun they have in the game is making hay, but I like doing the harvesting side of things, I suppose, but gotta try and mix it up every now and then. But it seems like because I'm enjoying the haymaking side of things, I end up making a lot of hay and doing that kind of stuff, so it makes me laugh. You can't win. You try to be, you're like, yeah, I think I'll change it up today, and you end up doing something didn't plan on doing it at all, so. Just got this little section here, eh? Let's see what we can't do about this. Yeah, like it's easy to do it from this perspective. Like, look how easy this is. In comparison, at least. All you need to do is line up this last one right here on the line, and then you're good to go, basically. But if you're in here, you're doing the same thing, I suppose, but you just have to pay attention to where you're driving to. Particularly when there's trees, and the trees that you can run into as well. Alright. I think that is... Oh, there's one little spot over there. Let's get that last little spot. And while we're at it, let's just clean up this edge here a little bit. And we'll do this. There we go. Beautiful. And then what we'll do is we'll put it into the last little bit into that windrow right there. Let's see. We should be able to combine these. I don't see why not. I don't know how much the baler can handle, but whatever, we'll find out. I don't. It doesn't clog up, so I'm not worried about it. If I was using the John Deere 864, then maybe I'd be a little more concerned. But there we go. That should be good. Let's raise these guys up, and I don't know what button it is now. I think it's J, I want to say, but I just don't know where I have the stand for it. J. Yeah, it's really not obvious where you have to stand in order to do that. You kind of just walk around. I suppose I could have just walked around and then gone from there, basically, but I prefer just to look. It looks a little silly when you're just kind of going around the outside of the implement going, okay, where is that? Where is it? There we go. Perfect. And let's just move it into the other field over here. Ah, that's so cool. They have like a little bump there and everything. Nice. Another grass field. It's a pretty grass heavy map, let's just say that. Alright folks, I think we'll stop it there for the time being, and I think next episode we'll come back and do a little bit of baling. Alright folks, my name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013, coming at you from Smithfield Farm. Catch you guys later.